All right, we're back a little bit early, but we are going into map 1 of King Deuce against KraV here. The first map will be Northern Isles. It'll be Undead Mirror, and KraV actually has incredibly good ping to US East, so no ping issues this time around. So we'll see. We're going to jump into map 1 right away. Let's see what happens.
These guys are not messing around. In the bottom left, we do have the French player from France. It is KraV.
Nice.
Well, there's French-Canadian. And we do have the top right. He is Canadian, but he is very not French. It's Deuce, eh?
Hey, Deuce.
Hey, it's Deuce there. I guess I'm playing KraV. All right. Sounds good to me. That's pretty much how he sounds. The guy's super Canadian. Probably the most Canadian guy I've ever met.
Yep. That's how we sound to some people, I'm sure, too, though.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's
you don't
that,
realize you have an accent, but then people say, you got an accent. And you're like, oh, I do.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely do have a Canadian accent, but Deuce is, have you ever heard him?
Deuce is like, yeah.
He's thick, you know? Like, that's on there. That hits you right on the nose. Maybe wiggles your nose, makes it a little numb. And, yeah, it hits you right where... What am I saying? He's very Canadian. Yeah. And KraV going to be opening Criplord, of course. Of course he is. Deuce knows KraV's style. These guys have played so many games together on ladder, it'll make your head spin. KraV is playing on Europe server. Everyone's on the War 3 Champions Flow server. KraV's a very, very renowned GM. Deuce as well. These guys have definitely know each other's style. In Northern Isles, I'm sure they played this map too. So Deuce going in with Ted Fiends against the Criplord Ghoul expansion. Now this sometimes could go very well in your favor. It depends how you harass. We know that the Criplord's going to expand.
Yeah, and Deuce certainly knows that as well. So he's playing DK into this very knowingly. He's ready for the Criplord. Everyone knows that KraV, especially in Undead Mirror, is going to go Criplord. So, and Deuce is going to confirm it. But the question is, I'm wondering, is the style still to go that Dark Ranger second, lots of pressure? We're probably going to see that from Deuce. But the question is, how good is this initial harass going to go? How well can KraV defend? He definitely is very experienced in defending this Criplord creeping against the Death Knight harassing. So we'll have to see. The Acolyte's so far delaying a little bit, but cannot stop this creeping forever.
No, and actually this creep in the green is going to buy Deuce a lot more time. However, it is going to give KraV a bit more summon. So the DK has to pace himself, has to distance himself. The Crippler, when he does start this expansion, is going to get level 2 a lot easier if you let him take a few camps. So Deuce has to pace himself very, very well. We do see the tech coming in, though, for Deuce. And it's going to... Oh, Deuce is actually going to intercept here. Circlet, good so far. And actually, Deuce takes the summons. That's pretty big.
Yep, there is one more corpse, but yeah, getting that at least for himself is nice because, of course, KraV could have double summoned to deny that for Deuce, so at least he does get his summons online. And there is one more creep left at that camp. KraV bloodlusting, pulling that Tuskar camp. And now this Ice Troll up for grabs, but there is a coil, so I don't see much way for KraV to get it. Maybe this is just a little bit of wasted time for him. 97, yeah, and it is going to go to Deuce. And that was a full mana DK, so he's happy to use that first coil. And KraV does want to go for that expansion, even invest in a Nerubian. But he's certainly going to want to pull the boys, go for that expansion. Here are the boys, here's the Acolyte. But Deuce is certainly ready. The first Fiend even on the way out, and the tech, of course, halfway almost done for Deuce.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, Deuce has delayed this a lot more than normal. Surprised that KraV's taken so long to get here, but he's finally here now. Gonna be able to drop the Blight Skull. Not gonna be able to see tier 2 pressure just yet, but now we're getting into the nitty gritty, and this is where Deuce, like I said, needs to put on some pressure. Gonna he pick up a Ghoul right away? Are you kidding? Oh, it gets denied. Okay, but yeah. One creep gonna go to the Criplord. Oh, Deuce missing a coil. Okay, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, not missing that one, though. Did he miss that one as well?
No, he did not. No, he did not. Just doesn't give that much experience.
Yeah.
But the big meat and potatoes is going to be the Priest and definitely the Ogre, Magi.
Yeah. All right. Nicely done by KraV to split 2 skeletons and a beetle onto that Fiend. Very important to do in these harassments. Using a coil now, the Ziggurat did get canceled, but it seems as though the remainder of the creeps is going to go to KraV, so this has been pretty well defended. It has been delayed. Almost landed that surround. It's been delayed, but has not been stopped. Unless this Acolyte falls, this could be a decent pickoff for Deuce if he cannot stop the creep. There's a level 2 Impale, potentially, but KraV being a little bit conservative with his mana, and I gotta say I agree with that. So far, very well done by KraV. Slow and patient.
Yeah, really taking his time. Crystal Ball, I mean, you know what he's going to do. He's going to go tier 2 and try to keep the pressure on. Deuce just hovering at that tavern. Doesn't want to give up the pressure. Does he have another rod? No, he doesn't. Does he have backpack? No, he doesn't. So Dark Ranger going to be picked up. This is a normal suspect when you see this push and more fiends coming out. Did Deuce lose a fiend? I don't think so.
No, he only had the one fiend. The second one is out now as well. And the third one is being built, yeah. So all standard things in the slaughterhouse as well for Deuce coming up. He's creeping a little bit to get probably that other rod you were talking about from the shop, perhaps, and also get, of course, skeletons. But did he mess up with the Black Arrow a couple of times? He messed up. Okay, he does have a couple of skeletons now, and he's probably going to go towards that expansion with now 3 fiends. Is that enough, though? No aura yet for the Death Knight, and KraV is going to get close to level 3, and now he's looking to be the one on the aggressive. We'll see. Nice ward. That's very, very well-placed ward for KraV.
We're still not seeing any towers going up, and the expansion is still very, very early, and this Dark Ranger could do a lot of damage to ghouls. And actually, KraV getting caught out and not in front of the Nerubian, and I think Deuce could pick up at least one of these ghouls. For every kill he gets with this Dark Ranger last hit will be a skeleton.
Yeah.
And Deuce could actually turn this in his favor with summons. The Crypt Lord, though, immediately surrounding. Can Deuce get out? You need to get out.
TP forced. He did get only one ghoul, so a sloppy there from Deuce, and KraV holds, and the expansion will not be canceled. The towers aren't up yet, but they will be by the time Deuce is able to get back. That was a sloppy mistake. You can't let that happen against a player like KraV, and KraV is going to take full advantage. Now he's going to get level 3 as well, and Deuce going to come right back. He used a potion of healing on the Death Knight, but has no aura yet, has no statue apparently yet. Yeah, no statue yet either for Deuce.
Ooh, Deuce knows right away he wants to keep putting the pressure on. I mean, it's not even a Nerubian early. It's double Spirit Tower.
Yeah.
Okay, normally you'd love to see the Nerubian, but KraV going straight for damage. There is an Impale that could line up here, and Deuce is kind of giving him the DK. A lot of units near this DK, but now Deuce going to put on the pressure. The Spirit Tower is up. Could pick off one of these ghouls, and he needs to get level 2. He needs the aura so bad. There we go. Finally picks up that aura for Deuce. Needs to put the pressure on, but I mean, KraV's been able to get this expansion up. He's mining off 2 acolytes. He's starting to build them right now, but KraV also teching behind this. So yeah. Economic lead, and if Deuce doesn't tech to tier 3, which he definitely can, could be a tech lead too if KraV goes to tier 3.
Yeah, the Double Spirit is actually so interesting, but the Nerubian now coming up for KraV. And it seems as though his expansion has been held. The Dark Ranger got, what, 2 ghouls for Deuce? It did bully the Crypt Lord off that camp, delayed that level 3 from the Crypt Lord for a while, but it's really all the Dark Rangers managed to do. And of course, the tier 3 tech was so delayed by Deuce to put on this amount of pressure. But yeah, maybe a Sapper in the future is a response to these Ziggurats. He could hit at least 2 of them with one. But for now, I believe it will be safe. Maybe some skeletons could go in and try to at least kill some acolytes, because the expansion has actually barely mined anything. This is a big sunk cost so far for KraV, so second crypt definitely going to be canceled. KraV a little bit out of position, creeping. And you know what? He's going to have to Town Portal maybe if Deuce commits in for acolytes.
Statues here, but double Spirit Tower hits hard, man. I don't think Deuce can actually break this. He needs to instead focus on winning the map and creeping up. It's only a Crypt Lord right now, level 3. Tier 2 is going to hit, and that'll be a DK. And I think the big key here is you're going to have to deal with a big army. You need to have the hero levels. Deuce finally going to tier 3, while I mean, KraV's just about to hit tier 2, but the tech timings are going to be very, very close. The key is going to be hero levels. Deuce will have a smaller army eventually. KraV's going to be busting down 2 Crypt Fiends. So, sorry, double Crypt Fiend. Yeah, that makes... I mean, you could say 2 Crypt Fiends, or you could say 2 Crypt Fiends. It depends where you put that comma. Dictation, very, very important. Kids, stay in school. All right. DK going to be very close to level 3, though, and first camp shop going...
Everyone's
in the way
30 watching this, I'm sure. I mean, they're a lost cause if they can't do that at this point.
If their kids are watching, stay in school, because there's a big difference, you know, with the comma. You know, it's helping your Uncle Jack off a horse, or, you know,
or, you know,
the other one. So really really got to watch your commas.
Minotaur Reaver up for grabs, and it seems as though Deuce will be the one to get it, and he doesn't have to scrape off any of the fat to do so. Just going to get the meat and the potatoes here out of the way, get the cheese from the bread, get the item, but it looks as though he wants to continue the pressure. KraV, he can try to poke and prod and delay, but eventually he's going to be forced off because he just doesn't have the army here, I feel like, KraV.
Yeah, he's still got some summons, but they're very low. And yeah, with the Fiend Clump like this, I think everyone thinks he's just going to die. KraV's going to give up a big, big chunk, but I think he wants to still grab this item. No, there is an Impale as well. KraV's sticking around. But this camp surely goes to Deuce.
Yeah, KraV is probably happy right now, just a delay, because of course he is on 2 base, pumping those 2 crypts we were talking about. So, oh, last hit will go to Deuce, and the item went to KraV.
Oh, it goes to KraV. It goes to KraV. I mean, it's Unholy Aura, not the
Deuce.
biggest deal because I think he's gonna get DK anyway. Actually, no, he's not even building a second hero yet.
Helps
you
him
still
get
don't
out of
want
that
KraV to get.
surround, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. KraV with the fast fingers.
And that's with nothing. He's just got Beetles here, and he managed to delay Deuce by so much and get the item. Like, that's a huge deal for KraV. He's doing so much with so little, and he is going into Gargs in the back of his base. Off 2 crypts? Yeah, only 2 crypt Gargs, and going for a sacrificial pit, so it seems to be Gargulio Frostworm right now.
Yeah, Deuce doesn't have web, but what he does have is very high heroes. Level 3 on the Dark Ranger going to help that silence. I wonder if he goes for... Yeah, he does go for level 2 silence.
Crazy amount of mana for Deuce, too.
Oh, yeah, the DK's got crazy on him. I was just going to say the Pendant Robe.
And the orb
Nice
now
pickups.
for that Lich. So there is Tri-Hero, but KraV is buying so much time. He's just got a Cryptlord right now. Deuce is like, oh, I can maybe pick off some units. This Cryptlord's out of position, but it's just a Cryptlord. And he's buying so much time. The Gargs in the back continue to be produced. The bank is growing for KraV. The Death Knight is chilling. Maybe he could go off and creep, but Deuce kind of is taking every creep camp on the map. That's one thing going for Deuce, but KraV is going to have a huge army soon.
Okay, Deuce with a nice coil, trying to get this item as well. He's getting all the main items. Oh, well, if he gets this one, I mean, the KraV did get one main item, but if he gets this one, very important, Wand of the Wind. And he does pick that off, and yeah, a lot of Beetles just dying here and being fed to Deuce.
Yeah, and the lab is available, the green camp is available, but I doubt Deuce is going to allow KraV to get that lab, and then after that, what is KraV really going to be able to creep? Maybe the hero levels could carry Deuce in the future if he continues to bully KraV off camps. Especially the gargoyle count is not high. Deuce does have web ready to go. The first shade is out, and there is a lot of towers here. This is, I dare say, too many towers for Deuce to deal with.
Yeah, but it's not too many Gargs. And, you know, I feel like this is still a good fight. The statues need to not take this much damage. This is kind of an awkward position for Deuce, but Deuce is going to push this anyway. Bunch of acolytes going down, and this might be a better position for KraV to take one web going down, but Deuce has one fiend out of position. I think that's going to die. Burrow, but there's no dust. Nice Burrow for Deuce. He's got Burrow and web. Does he have Destroyer form?
Oh, that would be decent here. Look at the amount of summons for both players. A lot of acolytes falling, but the expansion will still stand to mine, and the acolytes are being immediately macroed. And that one fiend did fall, but you know, if Deuce can continue to kill acolytes, he is expanding in the top left as well at the same time as this. And he knows KraV saw there was no creeps left in the top left, so not likely to scout it unless the Shade does. The Death Knight might be forced to do a heal scroll. Wand of the Wind, one more wave of attacks will kill the Death Knight, even with, I think, that heal scroll. Oh, nice impale! KraV! That was very nicely done. The Death Knight is saved without even having to use the heal scroll. Incredible impale from KraV there. Very nicely done.
That was a sick impale on Deuce, and Deuce is going to keep this pressure up. But I really just feel like later on, KraV's buying time, right? He's getting a Boneyard. He wants Frostworms, more Gargs. Deuce needs to put pressure on. These 3 Spirit Towers are just doing so much damage. Deuce can't actually commit. Nice positioning on the statues this time, but Deuce has to chip away here.
Yeah, KraV coming in. He's got, what was that, 8 Gargs. But there is 4 Fiends on the field, so 8 Gargs are going to die very quickly. The mining is still being denied by Deuce. More and more Acolytes are being invested. I would say enough Acolytes are being invested into that there's no expansion mining, but the DK, Impale, and that is a town portal. But remember, there's no town portal. It was used earlier by Deuce, and he might... Oh, there's so many ghouls here. There's a Lich with Orb here, and Deuce certainly has to get out, but not before losing the level 3 Dark Ranger to a surround. What a hold. The patience from KraV pays off, and now Deuce is forced back out, but the expansion is up and soon to be mining. The question is, does KraV know about that? He probably will soon with that Shade.
I really don't think that KraV's going to scout this anytime soon. I don't even think you really see it coming. I think your first guess might even be the expansion. Where is the Shade, by the way?
It's with the army right now, or it was at least.
Yeah, it's still with the army. I don't think he scouts this anytime soon. And with the Necropolis there, Deuce is going to be able to mine 53 versus 51. And yeah, the swarm that the KraV had was good, but on even economy, Deuce still has a heavy fiend count, and he's going to be able to just pump more and more units. This is still not out of the woods for KraV, despite having this expansion for much longer. But yeah, I mean, this
Scouted.
Sick ghoul scout from KraV. So early, too. I mean... Okay, well, there's that. Claws +9 on the Lich. There's that. All right.
lot of good things going KraV's way now. The supplies are relatively good, I would say, for Deuce. Actually, a supply advantage right now, but the Gargs are going towards the expansion to shut that down. Is there a town portal? I think a town portal will have to be purchased by Deuce. He does buy one. Please don't town portal his Death Knight right there. Please don't do that, Deuce. Okay, he's going to bring it back. And the Acolytes are all going to fall. Maybe an exchange of town portals, but there's a Scroll of the Beast. 2 Acolytes falling, 3 Acolytes falling. I imagine this will be a town portal by KraV. Silence. No Impale in the future. Going for the gold mine. Health potion on that DK, so he's not really at risk of falling. KraV staying the perfect amount of time, I say. Might lose 1 Garg, might lose 2 Gargs. Doesn't kill a Fiend. Only loses 1 Garg, so nicely done harassment by KraV there. Shutting down that second base by Deuce.
Have you noticed that these are +3 attack Fiends?
Very early. Very early.
Very strong, yeah. I mean, KraV's got 2-1, and with this Frost Room, he's going to have a very tanky, but these Gargs are going to drop fast.
Claws. More claws for both players. And of course, this Northern Isles, so there's always this marketplace to get even more. The last creeps are being swallowed up. There is, of course, a red camp in the bottom right to be contested over. But if KraV wants to go for that bottom right, he can't slow down the expansion of Deuce anymore. So does he want to give that up to potentially get a big, nice aura item? First Frostform out. Cannot let that bad boy get webbed out of position. And it's looking like KraV may. KraV, okay, he does remember about it. And the summons are trying to go towards the expansion. This Nerubian will be upgraded soon, but until then, Deuce has to be a little bit defensive.
Yeah, KraV as well. I mean, until that second Frost Room comes out, his army, despite looking like it's better on paper, 70 versus 60, is mostly just in Frost Room. So it's very, very top heavy.
Yes.
I think that the army composition kind of favors Deuce right now until that second Frost Room pops. And Deuce keeps this expansion alive. Mass summons against summons. He's going to be able to kill the Beetles and finally rebuild that expansion that didn't go down, Carson. So, so far, I think it's on KraV to wait this time, just buy a bit more time for his army. I mean, it's still a very, very strong army. Scroll of the Beast as well.
Yeah.
I don't think Deuce has actually popped the Destroyer.
And
so if he doesn't pop one, yeah, he needs the double statue right now. So bit of a weird situation for both players, but I definitely think that KraV can kind of run away with this. And he's going to go for the expansion right now.
10 supply advantage. Town portaling into Nova and Ghouls and Impale. It's going to be very rough. Oh, this Impale is going to be massive. Scroll the Beast probably going to be popped on top. The Impale on everything possibly. Nice silence from Deuce. The Frostworm being Nova being focused down. The level 1 coil will not keep this Frostworm alive. The next one really out of position, but how much damage are the Fiends taking? I heard 1 Garg fall. Scroll of the Beast is putting a lot of damage. Nice Impale to follow it up at the end of the day. Illusion on the Frostworm as well as being focused by Deuce, and there's a couple of Gargs being webbed out of position. Is there enough Fiends? One of the statues fell. One of them is very, very low. There's a couple of coils left. The Deathlight out of position as well. The Frostworm is putting in work. I just don't know if Deuce has enough.
Oh, the Wand of Illusion on these Frostrooms is so pivotal. Deuce is actually targeting the wrong ones, and the Frostworm getting a bit more targeting. Deuce's Fiends are taking a lot of damage, and there's still a lot of Gargs in the air. I don't think this is a really good fight for Deuce, and the supply is showing 72 to 40. Deuce is getting slaughtered. He doesn't have enough to fight this anymore.
So many Impales. There's still another Impale. The Lich is going to fall. The Frostworm could indefinitely slow this Death Knight as well, and GG is called 1-0 for KraV. Nicely held, nicely played. Knew how many towers he needed to just hold on, and he makes it work. Makes it work.
Much different start in this Europe versus NA match than the first one. Deuce having a struggle, man. KraV's Criplord meta is really, really good. Questionable to rebuild that many Spirit Towers at the start, but boy, did they help, because Deuce putting on a lot of pressure early. You can't break a towered Expo like that. As soon as he got the Nerubian, I mean, what did we see? 60 supply with 2 statues?
Yeah.
Still not enough to chip away. And KraV was able to go ahead with that, man. That was really, really well played from KraV. I actually thought that Deuce took a really good fight at his expansion. At the final fight, initially webbing that one Frostworm and killing it right away. But he kind of took a lot of damage, and then the second Frostworm came in very, very well timed. And again...
And the Scroll of the Beast, too, was so good.
I don't think Deuce built any statues or destroyers either, because there were so many Beetles in that final fight as well. So many Beetles.
Yeah, and he couldn't really... I think I heard one get popped. Of course, the Gargs just immediately killing them, and that's why pairing the Gargs in Undead Mirror with the Criplord is so good, because you just simply cannot counter the Criplord at any time.
Yeah, good silence off that TP2 outside of the expansion, but man, that's a tough fight. That's a really tough fight. 3-0 Fiends. He had everything he needed. I think maybe a Destroyer in the air would have been nice. A lot of beetles on those fiends, and maybe you can't kite as well with all those stuff in all those units in your way. It's it's really a tough one. It's a tough one, man. You're going in down a game on your own turf, and KraV might be the first European to go into the main finals. It wasn't Sonic, but it could be KraV against Insup final, and KraV's looking like he's got a really good undead mirror. I mean, it's dynamite right now.
Yeah, it's very, very well done. And he's got more options than just the fast expansion. He could do cheeses. He could do 2 crypt all-ins. Plenty of options. He could go fiends instead of ghouls. So we'll see what's going to happen going to game 2. And it will be on Last Refuge. Okay, and in the bottom bottom left of Last Refuge, we do have the French undead player KraV. At the top right, we have the Canadian undead. It is Deuce. Bottom left of Last Refuge. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? She sells seashells by the seashore, and the Crypt Lord sells impales by the expansion by the red camp. Rick, what are you thinking?
Thinking you should pay taxes on those.
I paid double for that action here.
Yeah, same opener for KraV. It's going to be an altar and a crypt. And Deuce is going to open Ted Fiends again. I mean, I didn't hate it. LR, also one of those maps where the Crypt Lord can go for an expansion. You can really just mirror what you did on NI if it ends up being that case. KraV going for this Crypt Lord again, obviously. No surprise there, but... What did Deuce do in the early game on NA that bit him and something that he can change up in the game on this map? Because it just seems like KraV was never really behind.
Right. Well, of course, that getting his DK surrounded was the most notable mistake, I would say, in that early game when he was forced into the town portal. When that was his strong timing, he had the 3 fiends, I believe, and the Dark Ranger. There wasn't 4 towers at the expansion yet. There was just those 2 spirit towers. So that initial DK surround, although nicely executed by KraV, was a mistake from Deuce. So maybe he could be a little bit more careful when he does have that strong timing, because that was just the timing down the toilet when Deuce got his DK surrounded.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yep. Got to change it up. You got to be... I mean, your DK is your main buffer there. You can't get him surrounded. Deuce kind of playing wonky, too. There was a time outside of the spiders, I guess, or scorpions. I don't know which one they are. I just think they're spiders, but...
I just call them spiders, yeah.
Yeah, people say they're scorpions, but...
Well, there's spiders
anyway,
and scorpions.
DK very aggressive. Could have risked an impulse around. So just overall DK control needs to be better in the early game.
Yeah.
Ring for the Crypt Lord, that's a good item going into this when you need to rely on being tanky and holding this expansion. And obviously KraV's going to do the same thing. Doesn't sell the TP this time. Going to hold on to that. But he does have the Blight Skull, and he could be making an Acolyte. The Crypt or the Ziggurat does finish, so we could see an Acolyte for Mr. KraV if he wants to commit to this. Deuce actually going to be able to scout that there's no Acolyte coming out, just more ghouls. KraV really patient with what he wants to do, man. It's something you don't see from undead players. They kind of just force the tempo, but look at this, man. He's even letting Deuce see that, hey, man, I'm gonna take my time with this. I know you're teching. I know that you're actually doing good in the early, but I'm going to come out of this.
Yeah, 1 ghoul, 1 trapper being coiled, so that's a decent chunk of experience for Deuce now, almost actually evening it up. But yeah, the patience for KraV might pay off in the end. A lot of summons, and actually these summons and these ghouls are going to the main base. KraV, this could be a nice play. He's going to go for the expansion well, hitting the main base with a few units, or possibly just going around town to go for a surround. No, it looks as though these are going towards the main base. This is a cool play from KraV. Shows his experience in this sort of a game.
Oh, this is really nice. I don't know if Deuce is going to catch this either. Second Zig going to finish for Deuce, but there is no Nerubian, and honestly, I don't think Deuce is even thinking about this. And honestly, this looks like KraV's normal army, but what Deuce didn't see is that KraV was pumping out more ghouls, and now they're going to hit the main base with a couple of beetles.
Deuce. He's got to respect this. He's pulling all of his ghouls. His lumber is going to take a hit from this, and a town portal is going to be invested as well. And now the expansion's free for KraV. What a nice play. Maybe 2 ghouls are going to cost KraV, but he's going to actually get an Acolyte.
Does he get this, though? There's another coil. I think he does. Wow, this is great. KraV.
Ghouls could get out, too, potentially. Yeah, they're going to go around. Yep, and they're just going to both get out. At least one of them. Yeah, 1 ghoul for a town portal, for a free expansion, for an Acolyte during tech. KraV will take this all day.
No. Deuce, man. This is not the fight you want to take. KraV level 2 now. That Acolyte is such a big deal. Deuce not close to the tier 2 yet. It's going to hit him economically right now. Even though he's got 500 gold, it's not what you want to do mid-tech. And right now, KraV actually teching at the same time. Look at the tech timings.
Incredible, incredible. KraV. The expansion actually not being taken. It's just a creep. So maybe Deuce is a little bit afraid of an expansion now. Maybe he'll get that Dark Ranger, which, you know, obviously suboptimal compared to the Lich, maybe, arguably, debatably.
Oh my god. KraV surrounds the Skelly Scout, and Deuce isn't going to see this, but he's going to see level 2 Criplord, and he's going to see the item, so he knows it's crept, and oh no, Deuce is going to think expansion. He's sending another Skelly. I wonder if KraV's going to do the same thing, but no, this Skelly's going to go through and scout, but oh, KraV is doing what every undead player with a Criplord dreams of doing, diving into an undead base and winning.
Yeah, and the Lich is going to come out to help out, so Deuce not biting on the fact that there's a potential expansion coming up. And 2 rings on the Crippler are going to keep him tanky.
God, 6 ghouls.
There's a scout. Ghouls are being pulled. Oh, KraV's going for the lab. This is interesting. This is not something you would creep jack typically if you were going on the aggression in Deuce's shoes, so a nice creep. Will this give the Crippler level 3? It certainly will, so nice creeping from KraV. Very confident. Very assertive, and he's going to assert dominance with possibly a good item here as well.
Very nice creeping. Yeah, this is very unorthodox, man. KraV is really well practiced on these maps. He just does so many weird stuff that you don't really notice or can't really predict, and I think that's what makes him such a scary player. I mean, look how defensive Deuce is creeping. He's not even 3 yet, man. He like doesn't know where KraV is. He doesn't know what he's doing. Lich comes out. Now he feels safer, but this should be a level 3 DK because this Criplord just running away with it. Heal wards, great item, man.
That's great. Claws, though, the Lich is going to be great as well on the side of Deuce, and that's definitely important in this matchup. Skeleton again scouting the Criplord, who is going to work his way to level 4 if he continues to creep here, but the tier 2 is done. DK is on the way out. Slaughterhouse tier 3 as well. Is KraV ahead in that department? Actually, KraV is ahead in the race to tier 3 right now, so the orb will come up first for him, but KraV might be caught out of position here. 1 ghoul definitely going to fall, and the chase is on, and you know what? Only one of these players has aura right now.
Yeah, KraV actually splitting, bringing a bunch of beetles and ghouls again to the main base, and still no Nerubian, and the tech is just starting tier 3. There's going to be no slow. These beetles are going to get value.
Yeah, it could be. We saw 1 nice surround earlier, and that's what kind of has to happen for these Acolytes to be able to fall, but no surrounds were had, so nice defense from Deuce. Still a big distraction. This is going to enable KraV to creep his own side, maybe even take his mercenary camp. Decent amount of experience will be given by the beetles, but oh, this Acolyte. Wait, is this Acolyte cannot fall. Deuce is teching right now. Okay, he is going to save it.
Statue in the Blight, I don't think it does die. But still, yeah, kind of risky. I mean, it's a lot of lost mining time, and KraV behind this is creeping. Not the biggest camp, but I mean, a camp nonetheless. I thought maybe he'd go for the shop at the same time. That'd be probably max value. But yeah, not going to get it instead. And Deuce actually noticing that right away. Look, he's scouting both shops, sees that he's not there, and now he's going to be able to pull one of his own, and he's got the units here. So I think KraV could have probably been a little bit more riskier with his creeping now that Deuce committed to respecting that beetle push. But you know, tomato.
All right, both players going to take the shops. Could be great items. We'll see what Deuce gets. Potion of Invulnerability is going to be great on the side of KraV. Of course, hoping for that greater mana on any of his 3 heroes, but most importantly, this Criplord right here. And it will be 1 massively, not bad either, but maybe Deuce got the better of those 2. 1 beetle going in to scout the main base. I said the tier 3 advantage is in KraV's hands, and what will he do with that? He's going to get his Lich first, going to get his statue, maybe Destroyer for him on the way, but not too important for him. More important for Deuce, of course, to get rid of these beetles and these skeletons. But both players just content to creep for now. The Lich level 3 will be coming in soon for Deuce if he gets a couple more camps, and that's a nice level up.
Yeah, very good. Deuce is really where he wants to be right now, though. Orb of Corruption going to be on that Lich. He's got a pretty good army. He's got double statue, and we could see this transition into a 3rd statue early. He's 39 supply. He's got a lot of room to see what he wants to do. If he wants to go into Majority Fiends or if he wants to get that Destroyer. The Beetles have been huge this entire game. I think you want that kind of Dispel early. But right now, Deuce has been able to creep a lot. Big camp going to KraV finally, though.
Belt the Giant Strength on the side of Deuce in that Mercenary camp, not too good. But we'll see what the big camp does grant KraV. Will it be Khadgar's? That is the dream, of course, but any of the auras are going to be great for KraV, other than the Unholy Helm of Valor. Not really what he was looking for, but no crazy strong aura for either side quite yet, if you don't count that unholy aura. Dark Ranger third. Ghoul run by, a massive ghoul run by into the main, but these could all actually be caught out. Oh, not well timed by KraV, but he does have Frenzy, of course, so able to get out without losing more than one, perhaps, if there's a Nova committed, and there will indeed be. So one lost, and the ghouls live to tell the tale. But Deuce would be, if I was Deuce here, I'd be terrified. Seeing like 7 ghouls just run into my main base out of nowhere, like, I'd be like, oh my god, this guy's out of his mind.
Players' forces are under
Yeah, Deuce gonna go for the red camp this time. He's gonna keep creeping. The hero levels are gonna be good. It's gonna be level 3 Lich. The Lich for Deuce does look okay. I'm very confused as to how KraV's gonna come back into this. Hero levels are kind of favoring Deuce a lot, and I wonder if Deuce wants to take a fight before KraV can kind of build up this army. There's no expansion for KraV this time, so he's really just playing straight up. But I feel like the hero levels and the items and everything kind of favoring Deuce this game, and I feel like KraV, kind of committing a lot to these run bys, not getting as much value as maybe I thought. I mean, despite getting the Acolyte during the tech and everything, it seems like Deuce is still kind of ahead right now.
Yep, and he might get this Merc camp, but then he'll have to certainly town portal out the ghouls, being Nova'd. If there is an Impale and then the ghouls get on top of the Fiends, it could be very, very deadly for KraV. So, oh, this Impale is... Where's the silence? Where's the silence? There could be a big Impale right now. Oh, actually, there is Black Arrow, of course, so there's no chance for a silence. As I say that, of course, he does silence him. He did get silence on level 1. The Lich, the Lich! Oh, the Lich could fall. Greater invul, but it does die to a Nova Impale, and now a Fiend out of position, a Statue out of position. And KraV takes another great fight, and all it takes is 1.
Oh my,
that Lich.
What an Impale that was. That's 4 Fiends and a Statue. Just like that, Deuce. I mean, I was just about to say Deuce is microing like crazy because he was kiting with the Fiends and saving the Fiends, but 1 Impale changed the entire fight.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, KraV's not behind anymore.
This Harass has done a little bit of damage in the gold. We see KraV pulling a little bit ahead in the gold department from this Harass. Just a few under, but it does make a difference.
Of course, Sobi Mask definitely going to probably be going to that Crypt Lord. Unless he wants to keep it on the DK. I mean, both viable options, but...
Yeah, great for all 3. Great for all 3. Great for Mom and Dad, Mom and Pop. And, okay, the supply advantage seems to be here for KraV. Yeah, 10 supply advantage. And KraV seems to be in the driver's seat to get to the finals. And then he's got to face Insup there. We will have another Undead Mirror, but... Insup a bit more prepared for the Crypt Lord than Deuce seems to be. But there is a couple of creep camps, maybe with some nice creeping level 3 Dark Ranger. Can Deuce come back? Can he take a good fight? Can he find a hero kill that KraV found? Maybe, oh maybe.
Yeah, Deuce needs to, maybe grab a good item here. I'm not sure which one you'd probably need. Maybe, I don't even know if
Mana Stone,
I
don't know.
Mana Stone might be.
Even that, like, that's not going to be game winning. It's going to be great. Ankh, might not lose another hero like that again. At least that's something. KraV is going to clean up the remainder of his camps. Deuce seems to have 2 left, but I think this expansion has been cleaned up. Maybe a Trapper only left there. I could be wrong, though.
Smelling a little foreshadow here, Carson. Deuce running across the map with no TP. Ankh on the DK, but no TP, no invuln.
Yeah.
Invuln on the Lich. This could be pretty dicey. KraV's right outside, creeping this Crypt Lord to what he wants to be level 5. And he sees that's at the front door. And I feel like KraV, even though he's going to get creepjacked here, actually Deuce backing off, but I still feel like a creepjack would probably work in KraV's favor. KraV just looking really good right now.
Yeah, and KraV is banking. Deuce could be banking as well, but he's a bit low on gold, selling a couple of items, getting double heal scroll, which is crucial against the Impale. Both are even supply, but KraV has more gold to follow up this fight. No mana pot, though, so only 2 Impales, 3 if there's a little bit of regen, and the fight starts off looking good for Deuce, actually. Does he not have web? Deuce does not have web to get the Destroyer out of position, or else he would have got a free 5 supply. The Impale's decent, but where's the follow-up damage? Heal Ward in the back yet again. Coil, silence. No silence, or no coil will happen on the side of KraV, but a couple of Fiends are certainly going to fall.
Yeah, as long as Deuce can actually not get that DK Impale, he can start coiling, but he's still not taking fights. He's just engaging into Nova and Impale. Now this is going to be level 5 Crypt Lord, and it's going to be level 3 Impale, and we see it. It's going to last a long time. Look how long those Fiends are stunned for. This is a lot of damage. Oh, Deuce kind of not taking the fights that he needs, and KraV might lose a Fiend here, but Deuce is going to lose everything. This is the second to last Fiend. That Deuce has nice coil coming in, but you need to do damage. Where's the Nova? You don't even have it yet. He's still kind of waiting.
Yeah, a couple of mana off of a Nova, but the coil is there to save that one Fiend. This should be a dead Fiend here, but I think you're going to need more than that, Deuce. You're going to need a hero kill, and it looks as though KraV is the one to go for a hero kill. Invuln certainly going to be forced here. There it is. There's no impale, but the GG is called in KraV. 2-0's Deuce very cleanly, I have to say.
Yeah, Deuce not going to be the one to stop KraV today, and KraV, I mean, his ping looks pretty good to US. This could be a regular thing, and this could be KraV. Yeah, KraV's looking like a player that could dominate this cup on a weekly basis. I mean, Deuce couldn't get it done. A lot of players couldn't get it done today, but Insup in the finals against KraV, it's going to be an undead mirror, and Insup needs to hold the door, man, because KraV's coming for your points. KraV's coming for that dirty ESL money. Well, it's not really dirty, but you know what I mean. Dirty esports money.
Jesus.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
All right.
You know what I mean.
Well, I suppose we'll take a couple of minute break, let these players veto. It will be a best of 5, if I understand correctly, right?
Yeah, you understand correct. Like it's going to be a best of 5.
All right, so we're gonna take we'll take a 5-minute break, but we might be back a little bit early before the break ends. We'll see how long it takes them to do vetoes, but we'll be back with Insuperable against KraV for our grand finals. Last match of the day. We'll see you in a minute.